Hey everybody, it's Derek with the Swarm here, bringing you a recap from our Week 8 action in the CWL. If I click the right thing, maybe we can actually take a look at it. We went up against North Watchers in this one, a divisional matchup. We took the win by 4 stars, had 6 10v10s and 1 11v11. Believe they had 3 10v10s. I'm not entirely sure. Anyways, we'll take a look. We got like a bunch of attacks to look at, so I don't wanna waste too much time. I know it's gonna be a long video already. We have Tom coming in here, doing the 11v11 attempt. The war was already decided. This base was 1 starred, so we just decided to go ahead and take care of this. He goes ahead and lures the CC with that hoggy. Puts a bowler down just to kind of draw everything up there, and I believe it's just gonna nice bowler bounce that mortar. Now the interesting action comes down here at the bottom. I'm going to suicide his king and queen to get the AD at 6 here, as well as the archer queen. And that's just going to give a whole nice kind of value for those 2 heroes, getting a bunch of things taken care of. There's a couple other defenses that they do end up getting, which just kind of helps pathing, but really that's all he needed to get here. The wizard tower is really just a lot of extra value, especially because of how he's starting the Lalo. It would have been kind of on that backside next to an inferno tower. Could have been quite the pain. This guy did also have 2 ground expos, so a little bit less damage coming on to the Lalo portion as this gets going. Loons coming in from the side and the top here. Grand Warden kind of backing them up, gets the rage spell down. I'm not sure exactly if his plan was to have things from the 4 o'clock come over and take out that Inferno Tower, the one that's kind of still up right now. But either way, that wasn't. But the Loons all coming on the outer side of this base. You can see that big pack getting through the middle is staying in the middle, so his timing was just excellent on everything on the outside. Comes around to the final little bit here, just taking out defenses. A couple of the Loons do go ahead. There's nothing that really targets them outside that Inferno Tower, so one Loon is starting to really be able to get a couple drops off before it goes down to the Inferno Tower. When it finally does go down, it takes it out, and that's the end of that. This cleanup does go on for a little bit. But he finishes off the raid, got the 3-star. I mean, Tom's absolutely insane. So, just one of the better 11s that I've had the pleasure of watching. He just continues that with this solid attack right here. Next, we'll jump into the 10v10. I said there's 6 of them, so we got quite a few. First up, we have GCH, because we always have GCH. So he's going to suicide his queen down here at 6 for 2 ADs. And the king's going to set the funnel on one side. Giant tanking, just so we can get the wall breaks there. As all that's kind of moving on in, Baby Drag's going to set the funnel on the other side with more wall breakers then coming in. Valks and the king, they're going to go get the kind of everything in that compartment, but really just the queen is the goal there, and to kind of set the funnel for all the building can. Goes ahead and pops that queen ability, gets the wizard tower taken out. That's obviously a lot of value, especially on the backside. Unfortunately, the queen is just taking a little bit too much damage because she ends up not getting this inferno tower down. Lalo's already started in typical GCH fashion. It's just very, very smooth and very, very quick getting into everything. Got a heal spell down that's kind of healing everything back up, and that initial pack of Loons that is now split apart and just taking everything out. The hasted Loons on the side kept the big kind of packs moving through, just valuable defenses. They get over on the final Inferno Tower. That's the last threat to this base. Does have a Hound up. Goes ahead and smartly, it's one of those really good things to do, lure the Hound away so none of the minions ups kind of get on this. And he does have just a whole bunch of cleanup to do. Like I said, we just have a lot of raids, so we'll go clean up as quickly as possible. just get those shown. But I mean, just a very, very smooth raid here. Nicely done, as always. So the next one might be, we worked on this one. This was a base. It was kind of funny that the first 10v10 hit, it did not go according to plan. We wanted to get the queen originally by like breaking it up at this mortar. That wall break didn't happen, so the queen stayed alive. No spells to take the queen out, and GCH pulled off like a 98%. It was pretty crazy. But then the plan wasn't one everybody really liked, or they didn't really like, so we kind of developed a new one. So this is it, and CCL did a wonderful job. I mean, just timing these wall breaks between the mortar shots with the two mortars there was absolutely insane. King doing work. Then he starts going down, clearing bases, or clearing the rest. Pops that queen ability, gets the defensive queen taken care of, gets that expo, and that's like a lot of value. With getting just a lot of things out of the way. The wizard and archer and cannon will take out the wizard, or take out the archer queen so it doesn't pop the hound or anything. In come the loons. I love the pre-hasting. It's just a great way to get them taken care of and kind of speed up the attack. All the loons are just coming right across. They're all meeting up together on these kind of core defenses, raging through that first AD, healing after, like to cover up those two wizard towers, hasting at the bottom side to get them coming in, and then just this giant pack of loons moving right across the base, just going objective to objective to objective. Hasted loons on the outside, and he just smashes this base, going up at Get 3 hounds with 2 ADs and had 2 hounds that lived going to the final AD. They weren't obviously at a lot of health as they pop on that final AD, but it's still very, very impressive. Nonetheless, just a very big credit to the CCL's Laloing skills on this raid. It was a really fun one to watch. I know he got a little mad at me because we were a little too excited when he took out the queen, because definitely felt the Lalo would get it done. Next up, we'll go right back to GCH, and okay, he has 2 really good queen charges we're gonna take a look at. This one is first of them, but I think the next one might be. The next one is definitely the scariest attack. So he's going to queen walk down here, and then we'll charge in on this air defense. The king is setting the funnel with 2 wizards. Everything's kind of tanking. The wall breakers come in, pop open that wall, and now the queen can go in. The king has pulled the CC, and you can see he put out some archers, so it's really nice because it keeps the hound over there. Rage spell just for for the queen to get back up while she's taking out those. It had 3-point defense on her, and 2 of them were expos. She's at full health, which is obviously needed because now she stepped up into Inferno Tower range. And then the Lalo is already starting, just trusting that the queen will get it done, which is really, really nice. Goes ahead and will pop that queen ability, freezes that Inferno Tower, and that's kind of just, by the time that comes out, it will be gone, so the queen can continue to live. I mean, the timing on this was just insane, absolutely perfect. Loons were hasted in all over the place. I mean, just collapsing on this base. No heal spells or anything. Doing a great job. The queen is starting to finally gain back health, and then these loons are just tearing up the rest of this base. The queen is also tanking one of the backside archer tower, so it's just kind of nice. A little bit of extra value there since she's still continuing to gain health. Goes ahead and will poison some of these pups. The wizard tower is doing work. A lot of these loons are so close to dying. I think he ends here with just that, not even being able to finish the archer tower off. The pups are going through. At this point, it is all really clean up. It's just get the queen beaten through a wall and then coming around, and just did a great job. I mean, just a great job on the overall cleanup. It It was really, really awesome. So next up, probably we have the last one of GCH's raids, but probably the one not for the, I guess, the faint of heart, because this, another cleanup, but he, apparently the original attack on this one had a, didn't have, it had like the king or something taking one of the expos, so the queen didn't look as close to dying as she will on this raid. But it was very, very scary nonetheless, even when you knew it was a 3-star and you're still like, oh man, this queen is so dead. Kind of just tough. So with that raged, queen goes ahead, takes out the hound. Now his queen can go charge into the base. So down comes his king to just set that funnel even further. Takes out the expo. And then we'll continue on, moving on up. Has just that Inferno Tower on the queen, and that's obviously just really important because any other defense that does get onto the queen is just going to really tear down her health. Queen goes ahead and takes a jump, and that's the difference. The king was just not able to tank that expo, so the queen gets so close to dying. I mean, I don't know how he didn't just pop that ability, because it was just so close. And just out of just pure fear. But here's the other thing: he doesn't end up using the ability on the queen, the defensive queen. So it was like so crazy, but an absolutely just great attack. As the queen continues to take out the core of this base, the loons have come in and just shattering the side, and the 6 o'clock, and you start to see they're hasting right in. Everything's meeting up to go right onto that Inferno Tower, doing a great job cutting off the pathing to the far side loons, or from the core loons. Heals up the last little bits of the loons as they're going through 2 wizard towers, and then it's just, I'm taking them out. The queen's up, a bunch of pups up, a bunch of minions up. The cleanup is happening very, very quickly. As soon as all the base destroyed, or all the defenses are destroyed, the base is basically all destroyed as well. So this was, next up, this raid I did, which for some reason my kill squad got less than the Town Hall 9 who scouted this. I should have definitely gotten at least this Archer Tower and probably this Wizard Tower, but I didn't either way. So the plan here is for a Suicide Queen, have a Giant come down to tank to just allow the Wizard to set the far side funnel. King comes down, knew he would kind of funnel in the way wanted to. Maybe the difference is like kind of a little late on the Valks, but anyway, they all get through. Rage Spell comes down. They got the King. It was a little late on the poison to take out that, make sure the loon was taken out, and unfortunately they just don't get that Archer Tower, which we'll see why that kind of matters in just a minute here. I'll go ahead, and when everything kind of, I wanted that to die out because I wanted to get a place to just pull the hound farther away to make sure the pups that went on were not gonna take anything out. So in comes the hasted loons. Now they're going to just be able to collapse on this first Inferno Tower. And then the rage spell down to just push everything through. Loons come in at the sides. And here's really where I messed up on these final loon deployments. I should have just put 1 loon on like the cannon and 1 less loon on the Archer Tower. Just to get through that. So then continuing to lure the hound away, you'll see just to take out that backside Archer Tower. Wizard Tower doing a whole bunch of work. 2 red bombs do pop, and I basically just want to start crying at this point. And then the Skellies pop as well, and the Archer Tower is down about half. Then from here, I get just a nice little break with all my cleanup. At least it all groups up together, and by this time, you know, as long as they didn't pick up a red bomb along the way, that was going to be a 3-star. I was pretty happy with that one, at least with the result. If not, I mean, definitely a lot of room to improve on it. The last one here, we will take a look at Evan, and this is one that went not according to plan. We'll take a look. He wanted to walk his queen down the outside from 3 to 6, kind of around that way. You'll see here that does not happen. Down comes the queen. I like that the bowler is setting the funnel at both sides here. Healers will come down on the queen in just a moment. That goes ahead and pops that ability. The healers come down on her, and then she just walks back. So kind of a little rough. I think there was an outside Tesla. If he would have popped that, she would have went down there. But she ends up coming back in, which fortunately for him is kind of against what, you know, where the value in that attack comes from, or what he was trying to get with her by clearing the wizard tower and all this stuff. Yeah, there was a Tesla on the outside. So the queen goes ahead and pops that. The bowlers raged in the core, are getting nice bowler bounces on a lot of the outside buildings, but it's still very difficult with those outside wizard towers, just because the witches have a hard time taking those out and keeping up with them. So the queen's still up, does have her healers, so they're doing very well. And then the bowlers are just kind of clearing out a lot of the defenses, or not a lot of the defenses per se, but I guess a couple of the defenses, and a lot of the trash. Does lose a bunch there to a spring trap, which not really good. Once again, it's really just all cleanup at this point. We'll go ahead and try to get through that as quickly as possible, because as everything kind of meets up here, comes around the outside, there is that one healer left, kind of heals back up that bowler and queen, and able to finish off the raid. So a nice job to Evan. Great recovery on that. We'll take a look at some 9 raids here, but I think we had, like, our 9s went like 19 for 22. I feel like it was 19 for 22. It was certainly very, very, like, an insanely high hit rate. So just a great job to you guys. I know they did well enough for sure that we could get every 10 scouted. So that is obviously insanely valuable to us. So first up, we'll take a look here at Sophie. And she had a 6-pack, so great job to you, Sophie. And just a nice little raid here. Golems coming down. King and Queen. I'm not... So there's hogs in the CC. I was like, this is kind of another reason I like this trade a little bit. And I think it was probably thrown out as a good suggestion. Because I think we thought she probably thought she had bowlers. So if any of you don't know, if you actually click and like hold your CC icon, it'll show you what's in there. So if you're ever like farming or something and you forget in your raid, that'll help. I've done that a few times. Either way, the kind of pseudo swags the CC a little early there. Drops another rage spell down. The heal spell kind of got all those hogs back up again. It has the skeleton spell. I mean, it's a really just fun attack, especially for one that did get a triple. It was a great job when I guess things weren't going perfectly to plan, and still to recover and just make those great adjustments, which I always like seeing. Then just finishing off this raid, a lot of cleanup going on, but the queen, the golemites are there, so as soon as the queen gets through walls, they're all fine. So great job, Sophie. I know you're fairly new, so welcome to the Swarm family here. Next up, we'll take a look at a couple of regulars. Aggregon, one of my favorite 9s here, just taking care of business with Queen Walk Gobo, back end hog. So in comes the queen up at the top. I'm just gonna walk her down. A lot of trash on the outside here. She's got quite a ways to kind of get through this base, but healers will come down and keep her up perfectly fine. Then just start stepping into some defenses. This I was trying to think of somebody else does an attack very similar to this, and it just reminded me of a person who used to actually be in North Watchers. That's a friend of mine. So either way, the queen raged the queen so that through the king poisoned that CC. I think that's one thing on a couple of the raids. It was a little bit like, certainly for our Town Hall 9s, even on ones that were 3 stars, some of them were just a little late on that poison. As long as you're covering where they're going to be, you're better off. You know, it's much better to get that early because it slows down that attack speed, slows them down. I'd say probably in most cases it's always better to have that down before a rage spell, even if that was going to be what you're. Well, so in comes the golem, nicely set the funnel. I mean, set the funnel so big these bowlers have nowhere else to go but this island expo compartment. Out comes some small bombs and a giant bomb, which takes out one of the bowlers. The rage for the bowlers just absolutely wrecks this core of this base. They just continue to move on. The healers are just healing up that core, which is awesome. Hasted loons coming in at the bottom, took out a bunch of nice defenses before they start getting into air defense range, and then hogs for that backside. So it's one of those that I really like because it's like a plan for everything. Like it's saying everything has its place and a place for everything. Just where he really picked apart each section of this base as to what he was going to get, for what troop value, and then executed it very, very well. Which Agra pretty much always does. One of the reasons he's the more consistent us Town Hall 9s we have. Next up, we have Lakitu once again making I believe he has it done by the time I'm recording this. The awesome thumbnail for all our videos, so we're always really appreciative of him. Down comes the poison. I love that pre-poison. And then for both the heroes, just gonna suicide this. Has that hound in the CC. So we had some troops just in case that was the case to kind of lure it away. And this is probably, like, normally we would definitely take a look at this raid, but kind of the Lalo portion. But one thing I do want to point out is he knew, like, the queen did not want to pop the hound, so he did not pop the queen ability to ensure that she died, to ensure the hound did not get popped. So it was just a very, very smart raid. So in come the pasted loons all around this base. I mean, one's coming across the middle, the sides, purely, like, all over. It's absolutely great. It has 3 haste spells left, uses the third, leaves them with 2 left to just kind of take down that air defense expo and get to the wizard tower. And those packs of loons has just totally crushed this space. He will go ahead, start his cleanup, finish off this raid, and then unsuccessfully try to swag some Mickey Mouse ears. Just kind of part of the ears down a little bit. So great job to you, Lakitu. I think you also had a 6-pack. Agra, I'm not sure. I feel like if you did, I wouldn't be surprised, like I tend to always do. Our 9 performance is absolutely incredible. Big job stepping up this week, guys. I want to give you the credit you have clearly earned. Great job to everybody at the Swarm. Good job to all you guys over there at Watchers. For your record, it's I mean, I'm so shocked seeing how well some of the bases were and how well some of the attacks were done as to what your record is. But best of luck through the rest of the season. We will be looking to take on Annihilate next week, so we'll get a recap from that one. Till then, guys, see ya.